Canadian true crime, like she goes into his backstory quite a bit more, and like they truly really hid this mental illness, guys. Like they cared to pay no mind to it. I think they maybe took his gun one time, but that was like the max of what they had done to try and like.
Why would you take his gun? I don't know, all the time. Like never give it back to him. Like he doesn't deserve a gun until he can be in his right. He doesn't deserve a gun. Period.
Totally. Yeah.
Ever. He should never have his hands on a gun.
It's so bad. Yeah.
You're chilling with French fries and thick thighs.
Welcome back, French Fry fam.
Welcome
to another spooky story for you.
Ooh.
If you guys didn't see the update, we are continuing spooky stories for longer. I don't know that we have a time frame this time.
I think we're just gonna continue them until I guess if you guys don't want to hear them anymore, then we stop. Yeah. But for now, we'll keep them going because some people like them, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we had some feedback that people wanted us to continue spooky stories past October 31st. So here we are.
Yeah.
Next round of spooky stories.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. I have a really good one today, but bit of a warning. It is gruesome.
Okay.
It does involve children.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really just a horrific story, honestly. So trigger warning for everybody. If you have any kids, if you don't like kids about murder stories about kids, then everybody just be prepared. This one does involve kids, and it is a pretty tragic story.
Okay.
So in the summer of 1967, the quiet rural district of Shell Lake, Saskatchewan in Canada's Prairie Province seemed to be the kind of place far removed from violent crime. Farms dotted open fields, neighbors knew each other, the rhythms of planting and having harvest marked the season. Against the backdrops lived the James Peterson family. James, 47, and his wife Evelyn, 42, with their 8 children, lived in a modest farmhouse just off the highway near Shell Lake.
Wait.
What?
I think I read this in my true crime book.
Did you?
But it only was like a little piece. So like
Okay.
it didn't say like a bunch, but I've heard of James Peterson.
Okay.
Unless he's another author of something
He's
else.
an author.
No, like the name, like James
yeah,
Peterson.
okay.
Like unless it's an author of a different book, I remember like James Peterson in book.
Oh, I see.
Like,
Yeah.
right, so-
Okay. Yeah. Well, strap in.
All right, let's do
A bumpy
this.
ride. Okay, so James and Evelyn had built a life in agriculture, raising their children, working on the land, and participating in the rhythms of rural Saskatchewan. Their children ranged in age from infancy to late teens. On the surface, the Petersons represented the archetypical prairie farm family, self-reliant, connected to the land, and part of a closely knit community. Meanwhile, not far away, another young man in the early chapters of his own troubled story. Victor Ernest Hoffman was 21 years old in 1967. Good.
Sorry, guys. Just if you weren't aware, by the sounds of our voices, we are still sick.
Still sick.
Still sick.
And still delivering you content.
Still getting to it, guys.
Okay. So Victor Ernest Hoffman was 21 years old in 1967. Recently released from a mental hospital only weeks earlier. He'd been in treatment for psychiatric issues, including hallucinations and delusions, which he later claimed he saw the devil. His mental state had been deteriorating, but what would follow seemed not imaginable in a peaceful farming community. On the morning of August 15th, 1967, everything changed. What had been familiar pasture, pig pens, hayfields, and quiet nights turned into a sight of unspeakable violence. It was summer's dawn, but the day would not bring routine farm work. It would bring horror. So the victims of the murders were James Peterson.
Oh.
Maybe I should I'm just going to tell the story. I'm not going to say the victims because you will find out in the story.
Well, clearly he kills himself, so let's get going.
Himself.
You said James Peterson.
James Peterson is the victim.
Are we talking about James Peterson?
Yeah, and his family. Follow along, Rebecca.
I missed something there.
Yeah, you've got James Peterson in your head, and it's wrong. Yeah, he's not the killer.
Got it.
Okay. Victor Ernest Hoffman had been haunted by schizophrenia and violent hallucinations for most of his young life. From his early teens, he began describing terrifying visions, battles between angels and demons raging across the skies of his own mind. He often spoke about the devil visiting him, not just a metaphor, but as a real physical being. Victor claimed the devil stank, a rancid, choking odor full of sulfur and decay that filled the air whenever he appeared.
Really?
Yeah. He was like full-blown schizophrenic. Like,
Yeah, he like truly
was
thought
bad.
like the devil was coming to see him.
yeah, he was convinced. And the worst part is that I honestly blame his family for these murders happening because they saw his descent. Like, it was his whole life. Like, he's 21 at this age when he
Yeah.
committed the murders.
You think you would take him in, get him on some medication,
Yeah.
whatever needs to be done.
He
Clearly
struggled.
there's something wrong with your child.
Oh, yeah. And he struggled with mental health, like really bad. And he admitted himself into the psych ward.
Oh, wow.
And his family, but because of the times, they were so embarrassed of his mental health issues.
Yeah.
So they just like hid it, acted like it didn't happen. But like he was
Oh.
off his rocker. Like there was red flags
Yeah.
everywhere.
Oh, yeah. And sometimes you just need to be, you're embarrassed. How embarrassed were you after you found out he murdered a whole bunch of people? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? How embarrassed are you now? Like,
Yeah.
you should have just gotten him the damn help and been embarrassed of the fact that your child is a psycho.
Oh, totally.
Like,
Like I absolutely blame them. 100%.
so Victor, sorry, he's not part of the Peterson family.
No,
Okay.
he's the killer.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Okay.
No, I'm trying to put it together because I think I've heard this before, but
He described angels as shimmering silver white lights, sometimes fighting with swords that glowed like lightning. These scenes played out so vividly in his head that they became indistinguishable from reality. To his family and few neighbors who knew him, Victor was a quiet, awkward young man, but within him was a ceaseless war. When his hallucinations grew too strong, he'd grab his .22 caliber Browning rifle and disappear into the woods near his parents' home in Leask, Saskatchewan. So locals and neighbors would hear the echo of gunfire and later hear him trembling and wild eyes running through the field screaming, "I shot him. I killed the devil."
I killed the devil. Okay.
Yeah. And he would just fire like carelessly, aimlessly through the woods. Like he was just firing at nothing. But in his head, he was trying to shoot the devil. Like he saw the devil. And the devil always looked like a pig. Like it always appeared as a pig to him. So he was trying to kill this rancid pig that he kept seeing. Like how they depict it in the movies, like with the big
like
hooved
the whole,
feet.
yeah.
And like that's exactly how he depicted
Usually
it.
it's a goat head, but yeah, it's something along
But
those
he saw them as
pigs.
Oh, maybe I'm confusing that. Maybe it was a goat head. The pigs come in later.
Okay.
Yeah. In truth, Victor was never shooting at anything real. He was firing at his demons, literally. His parents, deeply religious and terrified for their son, begged him to seek help. Actually, that's not true. Sorry, I forgot to change that line out. They didn't. They hid his mental illness and they refused to acknowledge it. But eventually, Victor admitted himself into a mental hospital because he knew that something was wrong. He knew that he would close his eyes. Some of his accounts would say that he would close his eyes and he'd be terrified to sleep because he knew that the dreams were coming and that the devil was coming for him.
That's sad.
Yeah, and he was so scared. So he eventually admitted himself into a mental hospital in North Battleford, and doctors diagnosed him with paranoid schizophrenia. So he was medicated, stabilized briefly, and then only after a few short weeks, he was deemed fit for release. Yeah.
Our medical system is absolutely the worst.
Oh, so bad.
Honestly, everybody always laughs and they're like, "Oh, at least Canada has free healthcare and stuff like that." It sucks. It's not even worth it. At this point, I'd almost rather pay for it to get actual.
Honestly, our healthcare system is atrocious.
It's so bad. Yeah, sure, it's free, but it's not like anything actually happens when you go to the doctors.
Yeah,
like
it's so bad.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyways, continue.
Okay. So the hospital's decision would prove catastrophic. Victor was released back to his parents' care in July 1967, just 3 weeks before the tragedy that would shake Canada to its core. At home, his hallucinations quickly returned. He obviously went off of his meds. He told his parents that the devil was near again. This time, he said it wasn't just appearing in his dreams. It was walking among men wearing human faces. He became restless, pacing the house for hours, barely sleeping. Then one evening, he told his father, "I've seen it. The White House from my visions, that's where the devil lies." So in the early morning hours of August 15th, 1967, Victor got into his family's car. The prairie roads were still dark, so this is extremely early in the morning. I think like 2 a.m. It's really, really early. So he's just...
Yeah, because in August, the sun comes up pretty...
Yeah. He's just driving aimlessly right now on dirt roads.
Okay.
Yeah, like he's just in the car. He's just driving.
Okay.
So in the early morning hours of August 15th, 1967, Victor got into his family's car. The prairie roads were still dark. The sky was deep, cold blue before the dawn. He drove through the quiet back roads near Shell Lake, Saskatchewan, guided in his mind by the angels who whispered directions. Every bump of the gravel road, every flicker of his headlights on the wheat fields pulled him closer to what he believed was his divine mission. And then he saw it, the white farmhouse from his dreams. the Peterson residence, a place that in his delusional mind belonged to the devil himself. He parked, stepped out into the cool summer air, loaded his rifle, and walked towards the house. Victor entered through the kitchen door. Oh, I'll give Kate trigger warning. This is where it gets bad. So anybody who needs to opt out now.
Yeah, feel free to turn it off or fast forward.
Yeah, this is where it gets intense. So Victor entered through the kitchen door, moving quietly, but with grim purpose. Inside, James Peterson, hardworking father of 9, stirred at the sound. It was just after 2 a.m. Before he could react, Victor raised his .22 caliber rifle and fired 28 shots in total that night. The first 3 tearing through James.
Ugh.
So he fired 28 shots in total that day, 27 of them hitting their targets.
Jesus.
Yeah. Victor collapsed in the kitchen, bleeding on the linoleum floor, the smell of coffee and gunpowder mingling in the air. He fired 3 additional shots into James, dead on the floor. Hearing the gunfire, the Peterson children awoke in terror. So some of the kids were sleeping downstairs. It was a big family. So some of the kids slept in the living room. I think 3 of them slept in the living room downstairs. 3 of them slept in the bedroom upstairs. And then I think there was another bedroom upstairs where the baby and the parents slept, maybe.
Oh, okay.
So I think there's 2 bedrooms upstairs, and then the 3 kids slept in the living room. So hearing the gunfire, the Peterson children woke in terror. Some ran up from the living room to the narrow stairs, while others froze where they were. Victor stepped into the living room and saw Jean, 17, Mary, 13, and Dorothy, 11. He fired again, hitting each of them at close range.
Ugh.
The walls were thin. The gunfire echoed throughout the small farmhouse like thunder. Upstairs, the remaining children, Pearl, 9, William, 5, Colin, 2, and Phyllis, 4, huddled together in the bedroom. Their mother, Evelyn, grabbed baby Larry, 1, and tried to flee through the upstairs window that led to the porch roof. Victor climbed the stairs, his boots thudding against the warm wood. In the upstairs bedroom, he found the terrified children hiding under beds and blankets. He opened fire again, 11 more shots, killing each of them in seconds. But when he came upon little Phyllis, something in him stopped. She was lying there between her 2 dead sisters, eyes wide, clutching a doll. Later, Victor would say, "She had the face of an angel. I couldn't shoot her."
Oh, no way. You killed her whole family.
Mm-hmm. Phyllis would be the only survivor of the Shell Lake Massacre.
Oh, my God.
So I don't know if I say this in the end, but actually, I'll save this for after it came.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's okay. Victor then turned to the sound of the movement. Evelyn Peterson, clutching baby Larry, tried to escape through the window. He stepped forward, aimed, and fired. Both mother and baby were killed instantly on the porch roof, their bodies discovered later by a neighbor.
Oh.
The entire attack lasted only minutes. 27 of Victor's 28 bullets hit their targets. When the rifle fell silent, Victor stood in the wreckage of what he'd done. The morning birds had not begun to sing yet. The farmhouse was still. 9 members of family dead. Only the 4-year-old girl hidden under her sister's bodies remained alive. So, I'll tell you this after. I keep getting tempted to say it. Outside, Victor walked back to his car. He left the scene without a word. In his mind, he believed he had done God's work. He had slain the devil at last. Okay.
So he just up and left?
Yeah, he just walked out.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, James Peterson was a construction worker, and he worked with the neighbor, of the neighboring farm.
Yeah.
So, W.J. Lang was supposed to head over to his house that morning, and they were going to get in the truck and go to work like every other day. So when the neighbor, W.J. Lang, arrived at the Peterson farm around 9 a.m., he discovered the bodies and flagged the authorities. It was a rural area, so he had to actually leave and drive.
To go and get police.
So he hadn't actually found Phyllis yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
He just seen James.
He just saw everybody dead in the house.
He just seen dead blood and he took off. Okay.
And he went to call the authorities. So he went into where, like, the town or wherever it would have been to get service. And he called the RCMP. So RCMP kicked into action. There was roadblocks, dogs, search parties of up to 250 people, combed the bush and the farmyard. Early clues were minimal. There was 5 spent cartridge castings and powder burns indicating close-range shootings, but no weapon was initially recovered. The case had taken on a provincial and national dimension. Oh, I'll pause here. It doesn't really get into how he found them. So he reports that he comes back to the house. He's waiting for RCMP to come, but he obviously makes it back there first. And then it was then when he was going through the house that he found. So Phyllis had stayed laid between her 2 sisters, dead bodies, just frozen on the bed.
Aww.
Yeah, she
just terrified.
She just
didn't move.
laid there. Yeah,
Aww.
it was so horrific. So he eventually went and found her.
Oh.
Like when he went through the house thoroughly.
Yeah.
And yeah, found there's no other survivors,
Oh.
obviously. Yeah. So the case had taken on provincial and national dimension again in 1967, though. So there wasn't a lot. It's not like you were posting this on the news. It was just like no local news, local papers, right?
Yeah.
So the case had taken on provincial and national dimension, one of the worst random mass murders in Canadian history. Within days, investigators closed in on Victor Hoffman. Oh, that was the one thing that they mentioned. They like the Petersons were good farmhands, people, like they were good in their community. They had no qualms with anybody. There was nobody that intended harm on them. Like, so the police were at a loss. They had no idea who could have done this. Like, who could have slaughtered this whole family.
Honestly, now all I can think about is like Phyllis. Like, she's still alive to this day. Like,
She is, yeah.
so how did she recover from that at 4 years old, seeing your whole family get slaughtered and having to upend your life? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I would be curious to speak to her as a survivor. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how did your life go, girl?
Yeah.
Like, how
I
did
think-
you do everything?
I think there's a couple of interviews of her after the
Oh,
fact.
is there?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have
Maybe
to watch them.
I can find them and link them in to the
Okay.
video. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll find them and link them in. Yeah. So within days, investigators closed in on Victor Hoffman. One of Victor's neighbors had reported to police that Victor was recently released from the psych ward and worried that he may be the suspect.
Okay.
So that's how it was leaked to the RCMP.
Okay.
So on 19th of August, 1967, 4 days after the massacre, RCMP arrested Hoffman without resistance at his parents' home in Leask, Saskatchewan, about 65 kilometers southeast of Shell Lake. So that's how long he was driving for.
Jesus.
Just driving random roads until he saw this house that he thought he saw in his visions.
Yeah.
That's literally the only reason he pulled in. He thought he saw this White House in his visions.
Oh my God. What a psycho.
Crazy, right?
What a psycho.
Yeah. So during the interrogation, Hoffman confessed. He told police the visions of the devil and said that he had been compelled to kill. He admitted to the shooting of James and Evelyn Peterson and their children. He did recount in one of his interviews that he didn't feel guilty for killing any of them at all, because when he was killing them, he only saw pigs. He just saw them as pigs, except for Phyllis. He saw her as an angel. So he was genuinely walking through that house thinking he was slaughtering pigs.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So he felt nothing, no remorse, nothing.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But I mean, how can you feel remorse for something that you didn't know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was that.
No,
he
I
was
would
that
still
far
feel
gone.
bad. I'd be like, I didn't mean to kill them. I thought they were a pig, but like, I feel awful that I did it.
Yeah,
like,
you'd think he'd have remorse
right?
after the
You
fact,
think
right?
that
Yeah.
you would have remorse for that.
But when he was recounting, he was like I felt nothing. They were pigs. I didn't see their faces. Like he said, he didn't see any of their faces. They were pigs to him. Yeah.
Wow.
So investigators found in his discharge records, his recent stay at mental hospital, and he was released only 3 weeks prior to the massacre. At trial in early 1968, Hoffman was found not guilty by reason of insanity on the charges of murder. The Crown prosecutor infamously referred to him as the craziest man in Saskatchewan.
Yeah. It sounds like it.
Yeah. He was remanded to a provincial mental health institution rather than an adult penitentiary, which is quite normal. Actually, a lot of defense attorneys won't even run reason of insanity, because at least if you go away for murder, you're going 25 years. You could get bail. You're eligible for parole after 1/3 of the sentence.
Yeah.
But if you get found not guilty by reason of insanity, then now you're in the mental health institution, and you could be in the mental health institutions for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Like
If they deem
you could
that
never
you are
see
not,
daylight again.
Yeah. If they don't deem that you have recovered or whatever from your mental illness, then
So sometimes it's genuinely just like a defense tactic. Like they won't run it.
well, I was
Because
like,
you're
Ed
risking
Gein.
putting this person. Oh, is it the same? I haven't finished the show yet.
Oh, he stays until he dies in a mental institution.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I think the same thing happened.
He asked to
Victor.
leave, but they're like, you can't. And they're like, he's like, I'm fine now. And they're like,
No,
nope,
you're not.
sorry.
Yeah. And they get say over that in the mental health institutions. Whereas you don't get say over, like, I think I talked about this in Carl Panzram, but you don't get say over that stuff arbitrarily
Yeah.
in just a regular penitentiary. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not saying it's arbitrary. Like obviously there's psych evaluations and stuff, but it is more arbitrary there because it's more reliant on the psych evaluations. Whereas in the regular penitentiary, it is reliant on psych evaluations, but not to the same degree.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
So found not guilty by reason of insanity on the charges. He spent the vast majority of his remaining life in institutional care. So the key evidence that they found was the ballistics matching the rifle that when the weapon was eventually recovered at the parents' house.
Yeah.
The spent cartridges, witness identification, and Hoffman's own confession. The lack of motive in the ordinary sense, like robbery, revenge, etc., made the case more about his mental state than criminal intent. Investigators and psychiatrists documented the hallucinations, delusions, and diagnosis of paranoid schizophrenia. The investigator prompted the question about the discharge of the mentally ill offenders, the capacity of rural policing, and the mental health supports in the 1960s. It all paved the way for reflections on how such tragedies might be prevented in the future.
Absolutely.
And there's actually some listener theories about that as well at the end.
Okay.
Yeah. So where are they now? The Peterson family, all 9 victims, lie buried in memory the remains of Saskatchewan's dark history. The lone survivor, Phyllis Peterson, lived on, and her life became part of the legacy of the tragedy. So there was one older sister, Kathy Peterson Hill. So she was about 19 or 20 when this all happened. So it was actually 10 in the family. But she had moved off to BC already, and she'd gotten married to somebody.
Oh, okay.
So she was living in British Columbia at the time. She returned to Saskatchewan after the murders to look after her younger sister. And then I believe Phyllis went to BC with her sister, Kathy.
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
Yeah, she grew up in BC, I think. So the rural community around Shell Lake has never fully escaped the tragedy. Decades later, media retrospectives mark anniversaries, a podcast series, the Shell Lake Massacre. Honestly, guys, there's so many podcasts about this. Probably better than what I did right now, so go give it a listen. But yeah, it's a really, really crazy story.
That's insane.
Yeah. Victor Hoffman died of cancer May 21st, 2004, still in custody. His institutional care was controversial. In December 2001, he was granted supervised access to towns in Ontario, which raised community concerns.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have any access to anything. He killed a family of 10 people.
Yeah.
Are you insane?
Totally, yeah.
Like...
So in memory and public discussion, the massacre had acted as a sombering example of mass murder and the role of severe mental illness.
Yeah.
Books such as Shell Lake Massacre by Peter Tadman explored the case in depth. And so if you guys want to give that one a read, that's a good one about it. Policies and community responses have evolved. Today, there's a greater recognition of rural mental health needs, better coordination between police and health services, and ongoing debate about how to prevent such randomness from striking again. In that sense, the legacy of Shell Lake endures beyond the crime itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Shell Lake Massacre remains one of Canada's most chilling mass killings. Terrifying not just for the loss of the family, but for its randomness, its intrusion into normal life, and the lingering questions around mental health, care, and safety. As we close this episode, we just want to remember James, Evelyn, and their children and reflect on Victor Hoffman and the institutional systems. And we can ponder the deeper lessons for society. Little fun fact that I've gotten here about this. So the neighbor, W.J. Lang, when he was scouring the property looking to see if anybody had survived, he found the family dog cowering under the back porch. It never wagged its tail. It just sat there.
Oh,
yeah, like an
that
image
puppy.
of
that breaks my heart.
Yeah, literally just mortified. Like the dog just sat there, absolutely shook. It wouldn't wag its tail, wouldn't come up under the deck, nothing.
Oh,
just silent to witnesses of the massacre.
Oh, that's so sad.
So sad. Yeah.
Oh my God.
This one's a real heavy one.
Yeah, that's super heavy. And like, I mean, granted, this was in the 60s. So yes, our mental health has taken obviously a huge turn these last 10, 15 years or whatever. Yeah. People are more focused on mental health and problems and, you know, getting the right education on it and getting, you know, if you need medication, like whatever it is, it's definitely more open than it was in the 60s. But like, how dare you as a parent let your child sit there having problems and you just are too embarrassed to do anything about it? How dare you?
Yeah.
Like, oh,
I know.
I can't. Like, how dare you as a parent do that?
It's so bad. Yeah. Okay. So, if you guys are really like true crime listeners, I love true crime. Honestly, what we're doing here is embarrassing to the true crime community.
To the true crime community.
But I will recommend.
That's why they're called spooky stories. No, I'm just kidding.
Legit.
They're just a little spooky story.
With our context to it.
Yeah.
There is, if you guys want to listen to that one, Shell Lake Massacre by Canadian True Crime. She does a phenomenal job. She does seriously in-depth research, so everything she puts in the story is like backed.
Okay.
and it's really accurate. And she gets like very detailed. Like that's how I learned about that's the inspiration for this one. So that's how I learned about that. He saw her face as an angel, and he thought that the devil was like this rancid smelling thing. Like she really dives into the story. So
cool.
give credit where credit's due. Go
That was
listen to
her.
Canada True Crime if you want to hear the story better than when I said it.
That was her.
Yeah, she does a really, really good job. I really, really like her.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, there were some listener tales that, like, is this really Victor's fault? Like, or is this a reflection of mental health in society and how like, the emphasis that we give to it or the stigma that we give to it that allowed for this to happen in the first place?
I see, it's like almost like a double-edged sword there. Because, yes, it was in the 60s, so it wasn't as much talked about, you know what I mean? And it wasn't, there wasn't much around mental health as there is today.
Yeah.
However, there was options. When he started feeling like he was seeing the devils, you know what I mean? After he had already gotten out of the mental hospital, he should have went back and spoken with his doctor.
Yeah.
And said, they're coming back. Like, they're really, really bad. Like, I'm taking a gun out into the forest now. Like, you know what I mean? He could have went back to his doctor and made mention of it. So I
don't think they're in their right mind to even be able to do that. Like, I'm not backing these people by any means. Like, they need help. Hopefully there's a moment of clarity where they can go seek the help.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for,
Yeah.
right? I would understand if his manic episode had lasted, you know, a full week, and in this week all of these events happened.
Yeah.
But maybe there was one single moment of clarity where he could have opened his eyes and be like, damn, I need to go see my doctor.
Yeah.
But because it was such an embarrassing thing, maybe he didn't, or whatever the case is. I don't know. We never got to speak to Victor. But in my mind, I'm like, it's kind of, you're both at fault.
Yeah.
The
I
mental
put
health
so much
institution for
emphasis.
releasing him, and then Victor for not.
Well, what are his
going back.
parents?
And his parents are
I
like
think
number
his
one
parents
to
wear
blame.
most of the blame. Like, your
Number
kid's
one.
out firing in the fucking woods at nothing,
And
screaming he killed the devil,
And you're just like,
and you're just
it's fine.
like hiding it. Like,
Yeah. Like, it's okay. Don't
And-
worry about it.
again, Canadian true crime. Like, she goes into his backstory quite a bit more, and like they truly really hid this mental illness, guys. Like, they cared to pay no mind to it. I think they maybe took his gun one time, but that was like the max of what they had done to try and like.
Why would you take his
help
gun?
this
I
kid.
don't know. All the time? Like, never give it back to him? Like, he doesn't
Yeah.
deserve a gun until he can be in his right. He doesn't
Oh.
deserve a gun, period.
Totally, yeah.
Ever. He
Yeah.
should never have his hands on a gun.
It's so bad, yeah. It was terrible. So like
Ugh.
the family really, honestly, they should have some weight on that. That was just absolutely
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Absolutely. I think the family kind of dropped. They dropped the
totally,
ball on
yeah.
that. They screwed up.
Yeah.
They should be held. They should have been held responsible as well, and as like accomplices
Mhm.
for the murders, because you guys hid this. You guys should be held responsible.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he could have been somewhere.
Yeah.
Granted, also the mental institution. Let's, talk about that. Why the hell did you guys release someone like that?
Well, I mean,
Clearly, he's not in his right mind.
yeah, he should have never been released. He was not stable to be released. Again, she dives way more into that than I did.
Yeah.
But like he was in no way, shape, or form stable to be released. It was like a band-aid solution at the time.
Yeah.
And he was just like, oh, he's fine. Get him out of here.
Yeah.
He obviously did not continue on the meds. He was not properly rehabilitated to be introduced back into society, which
Yeah.
is why he never ended up getting out of there in the end. Like,
Yeah.
similar
because-
to Ed Gein, like there was just he was so mentally unwell that there was no way to rehabilitate him back into society
Yeah.
and ensure everybody's safety, right? Like that's the goal of the law is to maintain the public safety.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. They never did that. No, they
Yeah.
never did that for him. I think his parents should have been held responsible, and so should have that institution and the doctor who released him and signed off on that.
yeah, there
Should have been held
some way,
responsible
yeah.
for that, along with Victor,
Yeah.
because I don't feel like it was solely his fault. Yes, he
Yeah.
deserves to obviously be put away. Absolutely, he did what he did.
Yeah,
But I feel like there are other people who could have done things to avoid this situation,
yeah,
and they did not, and they let it happen, and they watched, and sitting there watching is just as bad as murdering the people yourself.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you just sat there and watched him deteriorate and did nothing about it.
I suppose they could have, like, the police, RCMP could have charged the psychiatrist with like medical negligence or whatever, or medical malpractice, but I highly doubt they went that far.
No.
I actually maybe
Probably
I
in
could
the
research that and get an answer
60s.
for you guys.
It wasn't, you know what I mean? That's not something that was first brought up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But like nowadays, yeah.
Yeah.
If you went into a mental institution and the doctor released you saying you're fine, and then you went out and murdered a family of 9 people,
Yeah, there
that
better be some
doctor,
questions asked.
that
Yeah.
doctor is going to absolutely be charged.
Yeah, there better be some questions
like
asked.
nowadays. But in the 60s, understandable. They didn't know the routes that they could take then and like how it would
Yeah.
go and stuff. But absolutely, you're getting charged.
Yeah.
Like,
But like as far as like Victor wearing the wig himself, like obviously he was the murderer, but like the people when people are in psychosis, like for example, we had a person call 911 today,
oh, okay.
and they called 911, and they're like, I don't mean to laugh at this, but it's a little funny. They called 911. They're like, I'm the Antichrist. The government's out to kill me because I'm the Antichrist. And he's at like the drop-in center. So there's a ton of people at the drop-in center.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way we could identify this guy.
Yeah.
So he had called, and then he's like, I have fiber optics. We're like,
I like Telus TV.
like internet. he had fiber optics coursing through his body. But this is just how unwell this person was. So like by the time we had arrived, we have no idea who this person is. They're not answering their phone. Nobody at the DI knows if anybody was asking for an ambulance. So who the hell knows where this guy is right now, honestly.
Yeah, who knows?
But like we know that there's a really mentally unwell person right now in a state just roaming downtown.
Yeah,
He
calling
could be anywhere right now. Yeah.
saying where you are.
But-
And those are the type of people that can end up murdering somebody.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
It's just our...
Yeah, he was convinced. And it's so funny. Like the first question we ask you when you call 911 is like, okay, tell me exactly what happened. So we're listening back to the recording, trying to like get any information to find out like if he said
Maybe there
what
was
he's wearing,
missed,
maybe said his name, anything like that. So we're listening back to the recording, and she's like, tell me, okay, like she gets through the address, and she's like, okay, so like tell me exactly what happened. He's like, I just told you I'm the Antichrist, you bitch.
You're like, oh, well,
I
okay.
was just laughing so hard.
You're like,
I was like, oh, that girl. Round of applause for that call taker because, like, shit, he let you have it.
Yeah, he's like, I just told you. She's like,
yeah.
okay.
Because we were dispatching. We're trying to figure out, like, there's nothing in this call. There's nothing. Like, she's typed nothing. We're like, what is going on? Like,
yeah. And she's like,
so we reach over, like, okay, can you, like, find out what's going on? So our lead goes and he's listening. He's putting notes in. And he's like, oh, yeah, you let her have it. I was like, oh, that makes sense. But there's, like, no notes. She was, like, done.
yeah,
She probably, like, busied out and walked off.
She was probably like, whatever. I don't care. This guy's an idiot.
Yeah. Be nice to your 911 call takers, guys, please.
Yeah. They may save your life.
We at least want to try. But
Oh, that's funny.
yeah. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I apologize if it was too triggering for anybody, but I did give you a warning. So
Yeah, she did. She gave you a warning.
kind on you if you stuck around.
All
All right.
right. Adios.
Later, nerds.